What's up, folks? I'm back with another reaction. Back with some more Goa trance, or maybe psytrance. Depends on how you define these things. For me, they're sort of a Venn diagram with tunes that can be found in the middle with characteristics of both. Generally speaking, I feel like most Goa trance is back from the 90s and the classic sort of period. I do know of tunes and own tunes from more recent years, including those by classic Goa artists like Astral Projection, which could be reasonably categorized as Goa trance. But generally speaking, I would say like post 2000, more tunes in the psychedelic electronic domain have been like what I would call psytrance. And again, I have no problem if people use these labels in different ways or if they use them synonymously. I totally respect that. But yeah, for me, Goa is like kick drums tend to be heavier, tends to be like faster and like more acid work in the tracks, more twisted and gnarled. Although again, there's a lot of psytrance that does have acid work that can be very twisted, including tunes by Hallucinogen on his Twisted label. So again, I think there are a lot of tracks that have characteristics of both, but generally speaking, I think psytrance has kick drums that are a little punchier, a little tighter. They tend to have a bit more melody, even if that melody is wicked. And even though they do have acid, it might not be as sort of like wicked and just like all-encompassing, like acid shower, like some Goa trance tunes. Though again, no worries if people use those labels differently. But we're going to listen to a tune on Dragonfly, which is a UK psytrance or Goa trance label. It's funny, this is a sticker from Record Shop. It's listed as psytrance here, so I guess we'll go with what the Record Shop said like 25 years ago, 26 years ago. But yeah, I don't remember exactly when I got this. It was through Discogs, certainly. I'd say maybe like 08 or 09, so it was well after it came out. But yeah, Goa trance is like the first electronic music I ever heard, and even though eventually I got more into acid techno and acid trance, and in recent years, especially hardcore, Goa trance has remained a consistent interest, and I have continued to get vinyl in the Goa Psy realm, going way back to my earliest days, although admittedly I didn't get a lot of Goa right away just because I couldn't find a lot of good Goa right away. But yeah, over time I've continued to buy it and right up into the present, as I mentioned. Sun Trip Records in particular has put out some Goa trance vinyl in recent years. Gamma Draconis, a 2 record release from 2020, fantastic. I already reacted to a couple tunes on the channel here, including an Astral Projection tune called Dominion. But yeah, we're going to listen to a tune on Dragonfly. It's from 1996. I mentioned it before. It's like one of my favorite years. I think partially because that was the year I discovered electronic music, so it's a bit personal and nostalgic, but I do think that in 96, multiple different genres, acid techno, acid trance, Goa trance, melodic trance or progressive trance, hardcore, I mean, so many genres were firing at the top of their game at that time. So it's a special year for me, but we're going to listen to a tune called Ormazd. It's funny, I reacted to or reviewed this tune on Discogs under my account name, Mr. Tom Servo. There's another person who had already commented on it, and we've reacted to reviewed a number of the same releases on Discogs, and oftentimes we've had similar, if not identical, opinions. But in this case, it's funny how people who can agree about so many other tunes might have an utterly divergent opinion. He was saying he likes both tracks on this, including Ormazd, but he was saying that for him, the one detracting factor is this tribal vocal, and he's like, oh, but thankfully it doesn't last that long, it just kind of comes in a couple parts. Well, guess what? I love that tribal vocal. It's my favorite part of the tune, and I think I wrote in my reaction or review that, man, I wish that tribal vocal could just last a little longer. So again, it's funny how people who can hear and appreciate some tunes in nearly identical ways suddenly have a very different opinion about another. But that's good, right? Subjective differences in music is what allows there to be so much variety. In any case, let's get to it. This is Ormazd by Kaaya, 1996, and it's Dragonfly number 36. I think it's 45. Wicked. It's like we're starting the track in like this post-apocalyptic swamp. The pulsing beat rolls in like a fog, and there's this like metallic haze over the track. triple beat. But yeah, this is the kind of kick I would say is more Goa. For me, the way I use the term. So we had that like fluttering kind of layer, and now this classic kind of like, what's the word to describe it? Like esoteric, sort of twisted psychedelic melody. Acidy melody. And all the while the kick drum, it's like, oh. Bear with me. For the uninitiated to like wicked 90s Goa, this coming part might be intense. Hear this like fast, kind of angry sort of synth line? It's gonna put it in isolation and really kind of like burn it hot. Ugh. The atmosphere of this part. It's like we just walked into like another dimension. Desert and forest parties when I was first going to events. Like early 97 basically. It's like aliens made acid work, it would sound like that. But yeah, what I was going to say before the tribal vocal came in the first time is the kick drum, it just sounds like someone on this huge tribal drum with like, you know, big drumstick just smashing it constantly. Those vocal synths are very like mid-90s. I'm not gonna say in a bad way, like it's dated, but like just in that like I associate it with the mid-90s. Not that like it sounds bad now, it's just like I don't think a lot of producers making tunes now would use that kind of vocal synth. Maybe I'm wrong. But I still like it. It just makes me feel like nostalgic in addition to enjoying the tune itself. This is the part. Those kind of psychedelic noises like phasing in and out, like echoing away. It's a hallmark of, you know, psychedelic music. Maybe even more psytrance than Goa, fair to say. But again, there's a lot of tracks where it's like, yeah, they got elements of both. I know the vocals come back. Where's my tribal vocals? It's brief, but they come back. back like a little more steady before the end, but I guess not. I guess it's just that one re-articulation. Bassline still doing work. Fragmented vocals. I dig it. I love it. Again, I'm very fond of that tune, and I do very much like the tribal vocals. Again, I suppose I can understand that, you know, sometimes elements just don't hit people's brain well, but if anything I would change about that track, it's maybe the intensity of that like wicked, like kind of frantic psychedelic riff that, you know, sort of forms the main component of the, I don't know, minutes, like, I don't know, 3 through 6 or something. But yeah, I really do like, especially that opening couple minutes where that vocal comes in and it's still relatively, not stripped down, but like still not minimal either. Like there are multiple elements there, there's a bass line there and so on, but it's not as sort of like overloaded as maybe the middle section of the tune becomes. But yeah, like I said, both tunes are great. Eventually we'll come back for Brain Dance as well. Let me know what you think of this one. Other than that, I will see you next time.